The coming of age ceremony for young girls to come into their womanhood is ancient. We're calling down the two sisters from the mountain to provide guidance. We're asking for this medicine rock to give her all of those skills that she'll need in her lifetime. This ceremony is a spiritual weaving of a belief system that holds the people together. You know, without that belief system, you really don't have a tribe. And because of the situation that exists, no rights to hold our ceremony, no rights on the river anymore. We have to fight for it all the time. We have the medicine there, we're smudging them down, and the boat comes. And they're holding up their beer, you know, going by, yelling. There's total disruption of like everything just goes blank. All of the prayers, it just like disappeared. It's like, you know, they're yelling obscenities to the people on the bank, and the woman flashed them twice. It's disgusting. The Winnemem are among 1,000 California Indians that don't have recognition, meaning that our status is overlooked or not granted or invisible as a people for maintaining our traditions of accessing our cultural sites, of protecting our spiritual and sacred sites. We're here, we've always been here. We continue to want to be here into the future. We continue to teach our kids how to go to the sacred places and how to sing the songs to the water. Any of the laws, like the American Indian Religious Freedoms Act, Indian Child Welfare Act, Indian Arts and Crafts, you know, all of these acts pertain to the rights that Indian people have. Like, you can't sell something and say it's handcrafted by an Indian unless you're an Indian. That's what that law refers to. So right now, when I make something or our people make something, we can't sell that as a Native American made item or an authentic Indian made item because, you know, we're not. That's what the law says. And Indian child welfare gives tribes the right to speak up for the placement of their kids, the treatment programs that are available to their children and families, and that it gives them the right to place within adoptions in their own tribal homes or in other Indian homes or an approved home by the tribe, so that the continuation of the culture is at best for that child. We don't have that right. The one that hurts us the most is the American Indian Religious Freedoms Act. You know, we were one of the first tribes to really utilize that act and have access on a more permanent basis of our cultural site that's in the National Forest. Whereas now, after the 80s, we're not eligible to have those kinds of things anymore. It's like we're still the same people, that's still the same sacred site, we're still doing the exact same thing there, but some terminology changed. And so now, the definition of Indian has excluded us. Raising a Shasta Dam will flood 7 more miles of our river, will drown and make inaccessible the sacred sites that we use now. And that in itself hinders our ability to carry on our way of life and teach what it means to be Winnemem to our kids. You know, one of the sites is a puberty site, which is a rites of passage for young women. That place will be flooded and never come out. Deep breath.
Linda no bo hey wena, Linda no bo hey wena, Jonas no do boy men wena, Jonas no do boy men wena.
We are asking Randy Moore to close down the river for 4 days so we can have this ceremony in peace and dignity and help us continue our culture the best way that it can. It's been voluntary closure is the closest we've got, but it's still not good enough for us to conduct a ceremony without worry.
Molly, MJ.
Okay, we went through the voluntary closure. It's like, okay, you think that's going to work? You can keep the boats out. We don't think so, but we'll go ahead and do it. And that's what happened.
Is it the important thing to have the ceremony,
Yes.
or is the important thing to gain some kind of recognition to have it? I'm not sure.
We have rights, federally recognized or not. We're the indigenous people of that river. We show that boat and that woman exposing herself because everybody can see how insulting that is. But for me, any boat coming up there that's not invited is insulting because they're breaking away a spiritual thing that's happening. It'd be like, you know, somebody walking right through a blessing or a christening. It's like, oh, excuse me, you know, before you sprinkle that water on that baby, I need to walk through here.
I think the biggest challenge is trying to figure out the right maneuver to get recognized, to get acknowledged as indigenous peoples. Most of the tribes in California that have been actively seeking recognition through the process are finding that all of their hard work and all of their struggles is not paying off. And there never was really a way to achieve it. How do they expect that the historic tribes will continue to be tribes if they keep limiting and excluding us from those things that are necessary to carry on as a tribe? That, in my mind, is cultural genocide.